I've had a, a busy kind of stressful few months, and I've just been putting some videos off. But right now I'm in the middle of my family room. I've got like 8 stacks of books around me that really need to go. I can't just let them sit here anymore, which means it's pushing me to get this video done, do another unhaul. That's what we're gonna do. So I've got, I think, even more than my previous unhaul, which was quite a few. You guys know, I've said it before, I'm just not gonna have room for these books when I move. Unfortunately, that means they've got to go somewhere, and that's not gonna be with me. I would like to keep all these books, yes, but as I'm starting to make kind of some of these hard choices, these are the ones that they just have to go. I've got a few different piles. First pile, miscellaneous. I've got mostly fantasy and historical fiction, seems to be a lot what I'm getting rid of, but then I just have a few piles. It's just random books, like this one, the first one, A Horse Walks into a Bar. I still want to read it, yes, but I don't think I'm going to anytime soon. It's about a comedian. Out of all the books I'm not dying to read this one. Same as this one, The Pirate's Daughter. Yes, I still would like to read it. I've had this for such a long time. I still haven't read it. We've got China Rich Girlfriend, as well as Rich People Problems. I am keeping Crazy Rich Asians because I've not read that one yet. But, I mean, I don't know if this is part of a series or if you can read them all. I think you can read them all on their own. I've heard the most out of Crazy Rich Asians. I know they made a movie out of it, so I'll see how I like that one first, and then I can always buy the books back. So that's what I'm telling myself, at least. We've got Fire Color Blue, Fire Color 1. I don't know how I got that so wrong. This does look pretty YA. The story did still look really interesting to me. I did want to read that, but time has run out. It must go. The Last Four Things. I think I have Andrew Taylor. I think I have this whole series actually somewhere in this pile. Away by Amy Bloom. The Liar's Dictionary. I just recently bought this, but yeah, but I don't have room. His Illegal Self by Peter Carey. I think I've got another Peter Carey. Dissident Gardens. Also just bought this. But, so I don't know if you can see, I've got these, come here, oh my gosh, these that I'm going to start packing my books away in, and surprisingly few books fit in there, so I've kind of come to the realization that this might be worse than I thought. We've got Atlas Shrugged. Yes, I do want to read this, mostly because I feel like I should, not because I have a burning desire to. I'm definitely not going to get to this anytime soon. This one I don't feel bad at all. Out of all the books, this one I'm like most eager to let go of. All right, let's make sure the pile's just gonna disintegrate. On the come up, I'm going to keep the other book by this author. What was it called? It was the one she wrote before this, The Hate You Give. I do want to read The Hate You Give. I still haven't read that one, but I'm gonna get rid of this one. Everything here is beautiful. Still want to read it, but it has to go. The World We Found. This is an author that I really like. I do have a bunch of her other books though, so I did kind of look through them, decided I've got to get rid of, I can't keep all of them, so this is one of hers that I'm going to get rid of. Irreversible. This is the second book in a series. I do have the first one. I did not read the first one yet, so I'm going to read that one. And then if I like it, I will find this again. It's interesting because the first one was a National Book Award finalist, I believe, but it also has some of the lowest ratings on Goodreads out of all the books that I have. So it's made me really curious about it. The Here and Now by Robert Cohen. Jack and the Geniuses. I think I just got this because it was a signed copy of Bill Nye. Everyone's an Alien when you're an alien too. The Giver. Still have not read this. at this point, I'm like, I just might never read it. The House of the Seven Gables. The Getting Place. Then we've got a collection of Agatha Christie novels. This is just, I think, one of those kind of like self-publishing ones where people just kind of publish it themselves. I'd rather have her books separate, so that can go. The Cutting Season. I don't even remember what this one is about. Not sure. 5 Quarters of an Orange. I've also had this one for a very long time. We Love You, Charlie Freeman. I've got 2 Louise Penny, I think that's how you say her name. A World of Curiosities and the Madness of Crowds. What a beautiful, colorful cup. What a beautiful, colorful cover. These, I know, are part of a series. Move, box. It keeps making a noise when I brush against it. I don't think you have to read them in order, because it deals with like an investigator, right? And you just follow this person along on all their adventures. I don't know, but those 2. And then the Paper Palace. That's pile number 1. Let's go to the next miscellaneous pile. We've got a few Korean language. I've got a Korean pocket dictionary from when I used to live in Korea. Dirty Korean, so that I would know if anyone was cursing me out and then say it right in Korean. I've got a Jane Austen. This one is one of the weird ones where it's like it's upside down. And this isn't one of my favorite Jane Austen novels anyway, so that can go. Selected Poems by Emily Dickinson. I do like Emily Dickinson. I don't really like the selected poems as much, so. Poetry of John Keats. All Along You Were Blooming. Did I just buy it? Did I buy this for someone else? I feel like I bought this for someone else. I'm going to put this one aside. I feel like that was supposed to be a gift. The Annotated Secret Garden. Big old book. Beautiful, but it's too big. The Complete Canterbury Tales. I haven't read this since I was in like high school. I didn't even like it all that much when I was in high school. And then Celestial Nights, this big old book. This is absolutely beautiful. I have read through this one. This is more of like a coffee table book that you just keep around and kind of flick through occasionally. I did read this, really pretty. Don't have room for it. Next pile. An old copy of Catch-22. The Iliad of Homer. Ooh, House of Leaves. I do have this. This is an extra copy. I don't know why, but I was at the thrift store and I saw like 3 copies of this. And this is just dumb me. I like bought them all at once because I had some I wanted to give as a gift because one of my friends mentioned he really wanted to read this and he didn't have it. So I gave 1 copy to him. I kept 1. And then I just have an extra one now. And I'm like, well, who else wants to read it? I don't know. Whoever gets it. The original illustrated Sherlock Holmes. Big old book. Oh my goodness. These are some of my oddly shaped books. We've got Dinotopia. You can see it right there. Got some artwork of Monet, another coffee table book, more Dinotopia. This is Post Secret. I did read through this. I didn't really like it all that much. It's supposed to be like people send, it was some sort of project where they were supposed to send like their secret post office to this one box, and I don't know, it's kind of dumb. Not dumb. I don't want to say dumb. It's just a lot of the stuff is just really kind of like cringy, whiny. Like, I'm sure there are people in here who put really deep things to them and it took a lot of courage to do, but a lot of them I'm just like, okay, like, all right. And then we also have a adult coloring book. Okay, those are my miscellaneous piles. Let's move on to the main 2 categories, which I guess I'll choose this box. Hold on, let me move some stuff, because this is never gonna work. Scooch over, everyone, scooch over. Fantasy. First three, a series. We have A Promise of Fire, Heart on Fire, and Breath of Fire. This is the Kingmaker Chronicle. I did still want to read this. I'm not going to anytime soon. Heart's Blood, this little tiny one here. The Search for Wandla. I do still really like this. I love this artwork, but I don't have room. Wind, I don't know how you pronounce that. This is a big old book. I've had this for a while. I've never heard of this series before, the Fireheart series. I think I started reading it. I don't think I got very far though. The Emperor's Blades. This is book 1 of the series. But I haven't heard anything about this series. There are other fantasy series I want to get into way more than this. So, unfortunately, I've got a lot of Terry Brooks. Mr. Terry Brooks, I seem to have like a lot of later books in his series. I don't have book 1 to any of his series, and I just kept seeing, oh, Terry Brooks, let me grab it. And that was obviously a mistake now, which is why I've got like 8 of his books and I'm getting rid of. Come here. So we've got, they're all in this, how do you say this? I don't know because I haven't read the first book still. Shannara? That series. I've got all these random like spin-off books. So I've got this one. I've got the Darkling Child, which is a cool look. You can see it's like someone's face. Cool cover. And then we've got Isle Witch. You Are Not Terry Brooks. The Talisman of Shannara. Is that how you say it? Riding some sort of lizard creature, which I love. The Voyage. We've said that one before. This one. Whatever all these books are, I don't know. And then Witch Wraith. I think those are all my Terry Brooks novels that I'm getting rid of. If we find more, we find more. Next we have Venge War. This is the second book in a series. I think I mentioned when I hauled this book, I got it because Kevin J. Anderson, I've read a lot of the books he's written for the Star Wars universe. I didn't realize this was book 2 in a series. Oh, I thought it was by Taylor Brooks. It's not. That would have been funny. The Crown's Fate. Golden Sun, I do have this already. The Throne of the Five Winds. Holy moly. These two are random books in a series. Again, I've never heard of these two before. I thought the covers were really cool looking. Lightborn and Shadowborn. But they did look really good. But again, I've got no immediate plans to read them, so. All right, fantasy, come hither. More of you. This is more of the, I think the last 4 things. Oh, did I have 2 copies? Because wasn't it called The Last 4 Things? The Last 4 Things by, oh, this is a completely different series. I had a previous book I mentioned, and that was The Last 4 Things. I thought it was connected to this one. It's not. These are different. This is this is a different series. The Last 4 Things, The Left Hand of God, and The Beating of His Wings. We've got these, Across the Wall, as well as Lyrial. I really also like this artwork. I still haven't read, is it Sabriel? Don't know. I'm keeping that one. The Sabriel, I'm gonna say that's how you say it. I am keeping that one, but I'm getting rid of these 2. Next we have Dark of the Sun. I do still really want to read this. This, I believe, is a historical fiction novel rewritten with vampires, which, who wouldn't love that? Music of the Ghosts. The Poison Season. This is also an uncorrected proof. So, again, I haven't, this is the one where it's like There's a Bloodthirsty Forest. I really wanted to read that one, but I have a feeling it might be a little too young for me. Just judging by the look of it. I could be completely wrong. Reindeer Moon. I don't want to get rid of this one, but I'm going to. Reindeer Moon. And then we've got these by James A. Corey, book 2 and 3 in the series. What's the series? The Expanse. I'm keeping book 1, getting rid of these 2. This is more sci-fi. You guys know how I feel about sci-fi, so I probably wouldn't even continue on if I keep going by my current trajectory. Next pile, we've got Mortal Heart as well as Grave Mercy. I've had Grave Mercy for so long. I read it, I believe, a long time ago. Don't remember much about it. I bought another book in the series, I think hoping I would get back into it. I haven't, so that's that. We've got 2 Carrie Maniscalco. I've got Hunting Prince Dracula as well as Escaping from Houdini. I read, what was the first one in this series that I read? What was it called? Stalking Jack the Ripper. I read that earlier this year. I really did not like that book. Because of that, I still really want to read these. I wanted to try to give these a shot, but especially the Dracula one, but oh, actually this one is all about like carnival stuff. The Moonlight Carnival. Should I set one of these aside? Maybe I'll allow myself to keep one of these. Let me just set that over there. What the Dickens. This is a Gregory Maguire book. It's a fairy tale retelling. I love that. This one, I think, is just geared towards a slightly younger audience than some of the other books I've read of his. So then we've got Kingdom of Copper as well as The Empire of Gold. I read the first book in the series early this month. I don't have that video out yet, but these 2 being in the Unhaul pile might tell you how that book reading went, so. And then Master of Iron. I'm keeping the first book in the series I'm getting rid of. I think this is book 2 or 3, so I've got to read the first one first to see if I even want to continue. Next, we've got kind of some old school fantasy. This is The Hills Have Spies. Love that title. Love the wolves and the little mushrooms and the creatures on there. The Black Raven. The Shadow of Ararat. Don't know how to pronounce that. I'm sure I just butchered it, but who cares? Colors of Chaos. This is not the first book in the series. Don't know what book it is, but definitely not the first. Spirit Walk. Look, it's like a little fox hunting. I love this one. The Black Griffin. It's so difficult to get rid of these. Other. This one's easy to get rid of because it's sci-fi. Who cares? Dark Prince. I don't know why. Why did I buy this one? I think this is the first book in a series, though. A Telepathic Hunter of Serial Killers. Ooh, that's why I bought it. I can't keep second guessing and being like, oh, well, can I put this one back? I can always put this on Goodreads as a want to read and find it later when I've got a ginormous house that I can fill with books. I don't have that right now. Rebel Spring. The Sea Beast Takes a Lover. What a title. And then we've got these 3. We've got And I Darken, Bright We Burn. And the last one is Now I Rise by Kirsten White, I think. Kirsten White. I did read, I want to say the first 2 books in the series. I didn't really like it very much. Just didn't like the protagonist. I don't think I'm ever going to pick up the 3rd book, so these might as well go. Hopefully someone who really likes that series will find it. We still have more. All right. Next we have a Stephen King book. This is Black House. This is a second book in the series, maybe, who knows. Either way, bye-bye. And then I've got a few Harlan Coben books. I've got Promise Me, Home, and Fool Me Once. I do still really want to read those books. They still sound really good to me, really interesting, good thrillers. I don't have room for all these thrillers I want to read. Let me see if I can like reach behind me and awkwardly pull these. There we go. All right, last pile, yay. These are some of my historical fiction I'm getting rid of. A lot of these, I've talked about it before, historical fiction, I just haven't been reading as much lately, even though I still very much enjoy them. A lot of these, though, I find quite regularly at thrift stores, so I feel like it's not going to be as difficult to find if in the future I decide I really want to read that book. First, we have Dark Amelia. This is, I believe, about Shakespeare's Dark Lady. There you go. In the Shadow of the Sun King. I'm running out of room. Mademoiselle Boleyn. Dark Angels. We've got Lady of Quality and Charity Girl. This is 2 books in 1. Please don't topple over on me. The Queen's Lover. I think this is about Marie Antoinette. Maybe? Could be wrong. Yes, Marie Antoinette. The Virgin Widow. And then we've got a lot of Philippa Gregory, The King's Curse. Philippa Gregory, I think she writes historical fiction so well. After I read The Other Boleyn Girl, I just immediately fell in love with her stuff. Not historically very accurate, I've heard, but the writing just catches you. Stormbringers, I think this might be historical fiction mixed with some fantasy, which I'm always up for. The Kingmaker's Daughter, The Lady of the Rivers, The Boleyn Inheritance, The Rival Queens, and The White Queen. Yay. I think that's it. No, you know what? There are more classics over there. I'm going to put that in my next unhaul because I don't even know how I'm gonna pack all these away. I'm completely covered in books right now. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for joining me with that. I hope you enjoyed it. It's kind of heartbreaking getting rid of some of these books, but it helps sometimes talking myself through it and letting myself know you can always find it in the future. So I hope you guys again enjoyed it. I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.